All right. Hello and good morning. We are back with our application, and what were we talking about yesterday? Yeah, I guess I was going through the tiny behind the scenes API changes of the matching and the transition stuff, where it disposes of the machines automatically. And as you can see here, we actually when we transition into a transition state that has a child machine, we use a function to create it, which means like you create a new instance of the machine every time we move into authenticated. Now, I did a stream yesterday with Evis, one of the founders of Codesandbox. We were looking at this because the way we write our code in Codesandbox, it gets us into, like, it's very straightforward. It's pretty low threshold to get people into the code, and that's really important. And not make them understand the code, but actually make changes to the code. The problem is after we introduce TypeScript, we have to do all these checks all the time on the typing and kind of override the typing, because the typing is not tied to the current state of the application, which is not ideal. And then we do get these edge case issues, race conditions, doing asynchronous code, where we're not like securing that after we do something asynchronous, we evaluate if we are actually still in the state we were in when we started the async process, meaning that we might do something there that's really not valid. Like typically you don't see this in the happy path, but like that's the thing with us as developers. When we implement something, we test the happy path. We don't so let's imagine you have like 3 clicks. You do the 3 clicks. You don't do like 1 click and then you suddenly do something random that you're really not supposed to do as a user, but users do this. Anyways, one of the things we talked about is like there is this cost of being this explicit, but it does ensure that you are only allowed to do state changes and run side effects in the correct states of the application. But the cost is boilerplate, and as we can see here, it's pretty heavy how this looks like, because the only like real, like if we didn't use a state machine, we would only have like these 2 lines. We would do these lines, this line, and this. Like there's a lot of additional code there, and it doesn't help that it's this nested thing, because we have like 3 level of state here. So we have like the auth state, the app state, and the page state, basically, or screen state. Yes, but I'm not sure what we can do about that, because the only reason we are not doing, let's see, let's do this in a comment. So the way this could have looked like is, let's just write this out actually. So we could say if matches authenticated and state app matches add backlog item. I'm using lowercase here, doesn't matter. And state app add backlog item matches. What was it? Valid or error? Okay, so we could write it like this instead. Let's make it a little bit better. Like this. So then we lose the nested stuff, which is really nice. And this would actually work. So the state is now typed to authenticated, the app is typed to add backlog item, and the add backlog item is typed to valid or error, right? That's beautiful. But then we do other stuff here. So let's see. We do this stuff. we do that stuff, and then we do this transition. So what we could say here is if state app add backlog item transition adding. So we could theoretically write this, but the problem, like here it stops, because we have already typed this thing to be valid or error. And this is what TypeScript does. It starts out, the add backlog item can be like any state. It starts out like that. And then we narrow it down to be either valid or error. Like the typing is narrowed down to valid or error. But with this transition, we are trying to not narrow it down, but we're trying to completely change it to being the adding state, transition state. And that's actually not possible. So if we were to again point to state app add backlog item here, we would be lost. It would say like never, because it's not a valid state. And that annoys me. That annoys the hell out of me that it works this way. And because that would make the code much more readable. And there are like ways to get around it in terms of typing. So we could do, so we could like reset. So we could do something like reset state. And then we could do like reset. And basically it doesn't do anything. It just returns the, well, I guess we could do this. Well, no, we can't do that. We have to do something like this. And then we could say like reset state, transition to adding. But then we would have to make sure that we still use reset state here. So that it just doesn't work. And it's so annoying because this API is so much more appealing than the one underneath here. I would say it's like to get any kind of traction to write your code like this, which is like a fact, is that it's more secure, more predictable. I think when like API surface is really important, and I think this is kind of the way it has to look. For it to make the most sense. Yeah, by the way, we're doing this. But it doesn't work. Damn it. Maybe we could spend this stream trying this again. Like see what are the, why doesn't this work? And maybe we could create an example and then we can tweet it out. To try to get some people to I've already gotten feedback on this, and there doesn't seem to be a good way to do it, but maybe there is a different way to express this. Because yeah, as you can see, like it's so much more appealing to do it like this. Okay, let's try that. By the way, if you like games, I recommend you checking out Dverve. This guy, he's really funny. He is a pixel art artist. And they have this really nice campaign of showing off their game, talking about the development, how to do pixel art and stuff. And yeah, he's a funny dude. And the game looks awesome. It's a mix of dungeon crawler and tower defense. Really, really cool stuff. Anyways. Playground. So let's set up the problem first. The problem is that we have, let's give it an interface. We have it, let's call it machine. Let's be explicit. And then we, this machine can take a set of states. Let's call these states states. Extends, well, I guess we can just do this. Current is a string. And So T extends states current. So the matches can take, let's make it simple. So we can only match one thing. So the state is now T, and this should now, this is machine states extends current T. And if it does that, we do states or we do never. And then we basically have the same for transition. And the only, yeah, so I'm just using, they are the same, but we're going to have both of them because the code looks more real because we use matches and transition, both of them. So if we have this app where we have some states, so we have current is foo, and then current is bar. Foo state is a string. Oops. Well, let's go foo, and then bar is a number, for example. Oh, and then we're going to create our machine. Let's see, how are we going to do this? We're just going to say, yeah, I guess we can just say machine is a machine of states, where we say the current, oh, we also have to say current is states, current, like that. And yeah, how do we do this? I guess, yeah, let's create a function. Function create machine, which takes our states and states, initial state. I think this is how we do it. And then what we return from this is a machine of the states and fudge, how do we do this? And states, I think. I think return, it doesn't matter what we return here. Okay, so machine is, let's move this on top. Create machine, machine create machine of states, and then we say current is foo. Yeah, and we need our foo string, hello. Okay, now I think we have what we need. Yes, we have current foo or bar. So like we set it in the initial foo, but the typing doesn't say that we are in the foo state, which is kind of part of the problem because we are actually saying that it's this, but no matter. And then we have matches. Okay. So if we were to say, if the machine matches foo, then we have machine.foo here, right? But then we want to transition machine.transition into bar. And now the machine is never, because we are in foo. That is the only thing you can do here. And then we want to change it. So one thing is that maybe these two aren't the same. Maybe they can have some kind of different typing. So if you were to, if we somehow were able to keep this initial state, this state, so every time we move between the different states here, we're able to keep this general state. So I want to try that. I want to say initial states, and it's the same thing. And then we're just going to put it here and see what happens. initial states, and that is initial states. And then we pass in states again, like that. And this just keeps passing initial states. So in theory now, when I do machine initial states, this should still be foo or bar, right? Even though I matching foo now, we still have these initial states that we can move between. So what I'm thinking is we can use these initial states when we transition. So when we transition, we don't extend we kind of have to create. That's the thing I worry about, because if we were to say now, we're going to rather extend initial states here, and then we use initial states. Now suddenly, yeah, so let's just do that now. So let's imagine that this works, and then we're going to use initial states instead, like that. And then we're going to, okay, so if machine matches foo, we have machine.foo, right? And then we actually do not need this initial state, but let's keep it to see what it resolves to. So if machine transition, so let's transition to bar and see what happens now. Oh, yeah, so for some reason now, this is an impossible state. And that's what I kind of wonder about. I don't understand. Because now we're not using the states anymore. We're using the initial states. So maybe that doesn't matter. This is what I don't understand, because now we're saying that this is based on initial states instead, but maybe because I'm passing in something weird here. What if I do like current boss or so? I don't know. No idea what I'm doing here. Yeah, no, this doesn't work either. So yeah, this is what I don't understand. I was thinking that since these states are different, it would be able to resolve it somehow. But maybe, yeah, okay, so that doesn't work for some reason. But what if we said that this is a transition machine or something? Interface transition machine. It's the exact same thing. Interface transition machine. So when we do this, we say that it's a transition machine instead. Oh, initial states. That doesn't work either. Yeah, so yeah, and I guess it's because, like, if I were to remove this, would it work then? No. Yeah, I have no idea why. I don't understand how this is evaluated. So why is it? Because they are the same? Like, we're giving them different names, but they are like the same thing. So for some reason it... Oh, I guess it's because let's call it matched machine instead. Yeah, let's change it. Matched machine. I think I'm doing it in the wrong order. Matched machine, and this is going to use, so this is still going to use the states, and then this is going to use the initial states. God damn it. No, that doesn't matter. Machine.foo. But now this should be a different thing. Machine should now be, it should be like a match machine. But it doesn't change into a match machine. It still has initial states for some reason. So yes, this is what I don't understand. When we're saying this is something else, it doesn't work. It seems to, so if I were to do like this is string, for example, like it's still, oh, it seems to add it. Oh, I think that's the reason. So now we still have like transition. Yeah, so when doing this is, it just adds this. That's interesting. That's a different way of thinking about it. So it basically says add something to this. That's basically what it's doing. Okay, but that changes how I think about this. So if we say, yeah, and that's why it doesn't work, because we are moving, we're not like replacing anything here. So what if we said that a state machine are two different things? It's a machine and a transition machine. And then, let's try this. We're going to try something very different. Let's do this. And then we're going to say match machine. Yeah, let's just say machine. Okay, so we have an interface machine extend. Okay, and this is interesting. Machine states extends current string, extends match machine states and transition machine states. Is that possible? Oh, matched. Yeah, and then we say transition machine, and the transition machine only has the transition. I wonder what this does to the thing. Oh, so it goes back to being a machine. Yeah, what does this do? So it still does the matching, but it still never. God damn it! I hope maybe there wasn't trickery there. But is this the issue, that we're kind of doing that? So now the machine. Oh, this is interesting. Maybe the problem is not that we... Okay, so let's put these back, because that didn't help. This just complicates it. Transition. And let's do matches current states current, and ideally we would want to have a type here really, but I guess that, well, let's just try this. So if machine.current will now be foo, right? It's only foo. Yeah, but then we can't move into bar because God damn it. Yeah, this just isn't working. It bothers me so much. It just bothers me so much. There has to be a way to make this work. There just has to be some kind of black magic. We kind of have to decouple this. We have to decouple this transition from this current thing. Like this has to, okay, so let's try the initial state. So this has to be based on initial states. Current is foo. So now it doesn't complain about transitioning to bar because it's kind of allowed. The problem is the machine we get back is never, because we're using states again. But if we say initial states, then we suddenly get never again, which I don't understand. Okay, I guess that is because we're adding that state, but we really want to replace it. So this holds the current. Okay, so this. So basically the way you can look at this is that this equals machine current foo. So in this case, this is what it means. Machine current foo and machine current bar. This is what we're ending up with. And that's not valid. Like we don't want this to be, it can't be these two at the same time. That's not possible. That's the thing. It's kind of this, it's not possible to say like this or, is that valid syntax? What does that do? Yeah, this is. I wonder if there's, yeah. Can I do like or here? Is that allowed? What happens now? I guess never first, but if we say initial states here, what happens now? Oh, now it's bar. No, here it says, oh, foo or bar. Yeah, so it's not able to give us the right typing. But it did allow us to do the transition. Yeah, this makes sense, because now we're kind of saying it can be anything again. Okay, we're getting... I'm having a hard time dropping out of the stream these days. So ideally what we would want is that when we call transition, we don't want this to be additive. Like, I don't know. This confuses the hell out of me. And I can't find any documentation on this. No pun intended. There's absolutely no documentation anywhere. So maybe it's not even an official feature. I don't know. I have no idea what they're calling it. Oh, I don't know. It just adds it. And if we add it, there's like, this will never be valid. This can't be valid. What I hope this would do was actually do this. It would just replace it. We're just saying now the state of this thing I'm returning is this thing. Don't add it. Just make it this thing. That's what I want. So why can't I have that? Maybe there's a way to express that. Like, is there some way to say that don't make this an additive thing, but just make it the thing I'm telling you it is? That's what I want. So maybe, like, there's so much crazy stuff in TypeScript. Like, you can do and something like that, and then magically stuff starts working. Well, it certainly did not this time. Why is... Oh. So what does it think it is now? Oh, it's any. Like, maybe a question... No, not a question mark, but exclamation point, or... Maybe there's a different word, like, not this, but... Or maybe it's... Maybe there's a different way of doing the typing. Oh. Now it's foo. Now we can't transition because bar isn't in current anymore. What if I make this? Okay, so what if I say current equal extends states current? Like, I'd split them up, and then I say this is current, and then I say this is T, and then we move in the states. I guess we get the same thing. And when I create a machine now, I'm going to say states current. It's just a different way of expressing it. but I expect it to get into the same issue. So here it says foo, and here we get never. Yeah. Because it's adding it. But maybe the problem is here on this current thing. So now we're saying explicitly current can I say like this? Is this possible? Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually say this. That is interesting. So if, okay, so that's current, and I could say like this current. Oh, that's interesting. You actually have access to this inside an interface. I didn't know that. But I can't like ask any. This is, so if I did like or T, what would happen now? Yeah, but this is interesting. Now it says it can be foo or bar again. Okay, let's put back the and states. Is this machine and states? Oh. Okay, but let's move this back into its thing. We don't need this anymore. States extends current, this current or T. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's move back to the other version of this. But now suddenly the matches thing didn't work. Why didn't that work? Machine. None of those signatures are compatible with each other. What the hell does that mean? The expression is not callable. Signatures, but none of those signatures are compatible with each other. Okay, so foo or bar or foo or bar. Oh, okay, this returns a machine foo or T, and this returns a machine bar or T. Oh, yeah, I have no idea if this helps in any way. God damn it. yeah, like why would this help in any way? Of course it doesn't. But it's interesting that we actually can point to this. That is very interesting. But like, what if we did? Let's move back to this thing. Okay, we have acquired one more piece of understanding of this. So states, create machine, and states. That works. Current, yeah, because now I'm just saying this is the state. So I have to say that this is what if I do like machine current t? What happens now? Now it says foo. And we have foo there. Not sure what why transition is. Oh, sorry. But of course, this is still like we get the same issue here. Yeah, like we're still in foo. Oh, yeah, I did a transition, so I will have to do the same thing. And machine current t. Maybe this is actually a better way to express it instead of this extend thingy I've been doing. At least that's something. Yeah, and now we're back to never, of course. Oh, what's happening here? There we go. Yeah, and that's never. Okay, but this is more explicit. We're kind of saying, we're kind of expressing exactly what's happening. It's taking this, whatever this machine is, and then we're saying, like, what's the current thing of this machine? Like, what's the current states of this machine? And then we're just saying it should be this new thing. So this works the first time because we're narrowing it down, but it doesn't work the second time because then it's already in the foo state, and then we're saying it should also be in the bar state. But if we do this, we will never get the typing because it will always be in either foo or bar. So we're kind of fucked. That's the thing. We are kind of fucked. Oh, but what we could do is... Okay, so let's do something based on this, just to explore it. So we could do reset, and then we could say, this is, or initial states. This is interesting, because now we're saying, extends current string. Now we are keeping these initial states. Yeah, so we are going to say, we can just say this actually. We don't have to do that extend stuff. We keep our initial states. But when we reset, we say this machine states, initial states, or it is something like that. Let's see. So now that's the thing, and this shouldn't work. But if I do reset, oh. Oh yeah. Okay, but let's say we do reset, and then we do the transition, and then we do machine transition bar. No, we're still at never. Yeah, because it's kind of following. I think it understands that. Like this thing was probably never intended to be used like this. Probably never. But we have to be able to do this for this API that we want to work. We have to be able to do a matches and then do a transition, which changes the state of the machine. But there's no way for us to express this currently. But yeah, I found it interesting that now we said that it can. Okay, what if we do? Yeah, but this doesn't help because now we are already on foo. So no matter what I do here, it won't work because we are on foo and we can't get rid of foo. That's the thing. The only way to get rid of foo is to actually return a new machine, but then that completely fudges up the API. Because then you have to do this. And this is exactly what we don't want. Bar machine or new machine or reset machine. We have to do like this, machine reset, and then we have reset machine. And then reset machine, reset machine. Now it's bar, right? But this just sucks. Having to reassign that variable every time, it's just stupid. It's freaking stupid. Oh, let me turn off my notifications. Because it makes absolutely no sense to do that. Because you aren't really, you're resetting the typing. You're not like, so freaking annoying. So freaking annoying. Well, I guess one thing we could do, changing the API, is that if we were to do, like, instead of having this is, we were to do this. Yeah, because this is quite interesting. Okay, so imagine that foo machine matches foo, right? And then we actually just went on with it. Foo machine. Well, I guess the problem is we want to be able to make state changes on it now. Yeah, this doesn't work. So what I was thinking is like we could do like we could do this crazy thing. Let's say, so the machine initially, you can't do anything with it. It holds the initial state hostage, so you can't change it. The only thing you can do is do a matches or a transition. That's like the machine itself. And then you get foo machine. And if the state matches foo, then you actually get the state back. And you can make changes to it. But if it doesn't match foo, you just get an empty object. So you can keep like making making changes here. So you might like change. Why isn't this working? Let's remove this again. Let's remove reset. Foo machine. Oh, so yeah, okay, so I do actually, yeah, because now I'm only passing in, yeah, exactly. But I can do and states like this, I think. No, I can't do that. Can I do this? Or and states? No, I can't do that either. Okay. So I guess I have to say, do I actually have to do that? States extends current t states or never. What the hell? Matches, and then getting a machine back. And states? What the hell? Why aren't I getting foo here? There it is, foo. Okay, I have no idea what that was. Yeah, so I'm getting back an empty object. So if I try to do matches, it doesn't do anything. If I try to do transition, it doesn't do anything. If I try to change the state, it doesn't do anything. But if it actually does match it, then it actually does the thing. Then it's like an API that actually works. But that's silly. That's super silly. It should rather return undefined, because then you have like foo machine, and then you get the actual thing. God damn it, this really annoys me. So how would this look like? Yeah, because this is the thing. Like we would have to. This just doesn't work, because if in this case, in this logic, we would have to create like 3 variables. And then we would have to check them. And like, what would you call this variable? Like it can be valid or error. Would you call it like valid or error? Add backlog? Like it doesn't work. God damn it. Oh, this makes me angry. just isn't a good way to express this stuff. The only thing I can... Okay, what about this? So you have current, and then you have valid transitions. Like, so this is the current state. And then you have transition. So it can transition into any states. Like, okay, let's try this again. So we have states, and then we have initial all states. Let's call it all states. So you can transition into all states. Oh, current transition. Yeah, and then we give it all states, and then we're rather going to use okay, what if you said God damn it. What if you said something like this? Transitions bar. But transitions foo. So you're kind of expressing the transitions you can make as part of the typing. Oh, right. That shouldn't be necessary. So current transition is all state. So we are, yeah, because we're saying that you can transition into bar now. That's allowed. So we're kind of fixing that. This is like private or something. Oh, still pops up. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, I guess we don't even have to do that. We can just do this. So now, like, we're allowed to transition to bar, but again, like, this is not doing anything. This is not making it work. God damn it. Do I have to give this up? Do I really have to give this up? Like, if there was some way of expressing this, like if JavaScript kind of allowed to do something like this, foo state. Like, if this was possible, then it would be okay. But we can't define variables inside if, which really annoys me, because this would be a way to solve it. because then you could say like fuse state, and then you could continue on from there. That would be okay, because then in this part of the app we would just do matches here. Does it match there? Because it would return undefined if it didn't match. And then, oh, by the way, we actually want to continue with this thing. So we would say like add backlog item, right? And then you will be able to, oh yeah, like we want auth. Yeah, so like auth state, we want to continue with that. And we want to continue with this. Like this is a perfectly cool, nice way to get the best out of both things, but you can't do that. But you can actually do this, like fuse state. This is valid, but then you have to define the thing outside. Let's remove all states again. All states. So this can be the machine, or it can be undefined. It can be the machine, or it can be undefined. So we're creating the machine. We're creating this fuse state. But then it's kind of... because then fuse state... oh, this actually doesn't work because it... oh yeah, this is a problem with the typing, of course. Because then we have to... it doesn't help us in any way. Because then we have to explicitly set the typing here. And that's not something we can do. It doesn't like understand this. I wish there was a way to define a variable within the if. But yeah. Define in if JavaScript. Yeah, this is basically just we could be super creative here. We could like expose global variables for typing, where you could say like machine 1, and we would type that as a global thing. But that's just silly. So you would kind of say, yeah, I don't remember how it's written, but you would, yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, I don't seem to be able, like, I'm completely obsessing about this now. I really want to make it work. Because then it's like, boom, let's get this thing shipped. Or Yves and I also talked about having like a different matching API. So instead of doing what we're doing here, like taking one at a time, you would basically write something like, yeah, we can write it here so we have a reference. You would kind of like write matches, and you, yeah, how would you do this? state. Yeah, what the hell would we do here? State matches authenticated. And you kind of write it like this instead. But then yeah, this doesn't help. You would kind of have to do matches state, and then you will kind of do this. Because then you could infer that, okay, now we are in authenticated, and then the next state is now the type version of this one, and it's, yeah, kind of silly. Yeah. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. I'm out of suggestions here. I have no idea how to fix this. So there's also this thing where you have to evaluate how often do you get into the situation where this is sucky. So if a machine matches, but it's this concept of because I don't want to use two matches after each other. Like, this makes no sense. Like, machine matches bar. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. I would never do that. But it's as if, like, this transition is something else. It's as if we are, as I said, like, we're pointing to a different state. It's kind of like, if it matches, then machine.match .foo, like something like this. And then if you transition, the trans becomes bar. So that would kind of work, but it's still super silly. Because the only reason for doing two matches, so this is interesting. So we're matching on foo now, right? We're getting foo. And the only reason you would run another match on the same machine is because you're doing something asynchronous. And I believe TypeScript understands this. So if I do if machine matches bar, the machine will now be Oh, it would still be. Oh, I thought it understood that. That's interesting. So it doesn't even understand that. Okay, so we have double up with problems there. That's weird. I thought it understood that. Promise.resolve, then. That's weird. That's super weird. Okay, but I have a feeling that like this is... I wish there was some... like doing some... I wish I found the documentation for this. Maybe that could be the tweet. If someone knows about any documentation on the use of this is. Do I really need and states? No, I don't need that. But I need it for... yeah, I need it here for some reason. Anyways, oh, but if I add it here, oh yeah, then it actually complains. That's kind of nice, I guess. It should complain about that. Maybe. Like I can't find any. Maybe if I just search for like this is TypeScript, maybe does Google have something like, oh, what the hell happened there? Oh, did I go back? Yeah, no, there's nothing. This is why I hate TypeScript. Yeah, I can relate now. Can totally relate. Like, do I have anything? Do I have any meetings today? No. Method return types. This is Nope. Okay, I don't see any reason to keep streaming this. I'll just quit the stream and then, yeah, but I'm not going to drop it, that's for sure. But anyways, if you for some reason know how to do this, please let me know. Yeah, see you. I'm going away tomorrow, so I won't be streaming. I'll be streaming next week. Cool, bye.